Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody. Please forgive me for being late. I was on the road. Hey there, Charbear. How are you? New York in the house. Hey, Miss Gina, how are you doing? Hey, Miss Ruth, how are you doing? Hi, Shane, how are you? Welcome. Sorry for being late, you guys. I'm just coming off the road. Hey, Soaring Feather. It's one of my narc slayers, y'all. Hey, Miss Lovely One, how are you? Welcome this evening. Hey, Just Being Real, another narc slayer. I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Please forgive me for being late. I was on the road, so I just walked in. Hi, Mr. Sydney. How are you? Thank you so much. I am so honored. Thank you, sir. Sydney, wait a minute. Sir or ma'am? Is that sir, ma'am? I can't see your picture very well, so please forgive me. Hi, Michael. How are you doing, sir? Hi, Nace. Is it Nasty from Arizona. I've been to Arizona once. Hi there, Lynette. How are you? I love you too, Miss Ruth. Hi, Moonstruck. Oh, thank you so much. I'm honored. Thank you so much. Hey, Ruby. How are you? You're an overcomer. Go, girl. This is a treat. You've never seen me live? Oh, well, thank you for being here. Hey, Michelle. How are you doing? Hey, Miss Yolanda. Telsha. Thank you. I did make it safe. Thank you so much. Male. Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't see your picture very well. I don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here. Hey, Nat, how are you? Hey, Keisha. Hi, Shirley. How are you doing? Miss Shirley, thank you so much for my beautiful jewelry. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So your videos have helped me. You are welcome. Hey, Miss Andrea. Andrea, how are you? Hi, Miss Kathy. First time live. Thank you guys for joining me. Hi, that's my Shirley, y'all. That's the matriarch of our channel. I want you guys to give her greetings. Hey, Miss Sandra. Miss Shirley, my diva over here. This is our matriarch of YouTube. I want you guys to make sure you honor her and say hello. I love this lady. Let me see. You're an avid fan from the Philippines. That's Miss Kathy. How are you? I wore it well. Thank you so much. No harm done. Thank you, Mr. Sydney. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. So I came on late tonight. I just got off the road. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Hey, Miss Gina. How are you? And I just want to, I say this all the time, right? What do I always say? Hi, Miss Adriana. Hi, Miss Adriana, 6 a.m. Uh-oh, you were waiting to see me. Thank you. I'm here. Hi, Miss Rita. Hey, Miss Erica. See, there we go. Miss Shirley. Kamusta from the country. Okay, you know what? I actually went and looked that word up. I didn't write it down, so I'm trying to memorize Kamusta. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hi, Miss Cherie. Hey, Miss Erica. That's my 7th grade BFF right there. Hey, Paula, how are you? Okay, so let me see if I got all my languages right. I got Oi, and that's from Brazil. I got Heli from Australia. I have Bonjour from Ottawa, Canada. I have Goddag from Denmark. Hello from Denmark, and Goddag. And let's see. Hey, Mr. Mark, how are you? I got Grüß Servus, Germany, Deutschland. What else do we have? Hola. We have Annyeonghaseyo. We got Namaste. Am I missing anybody? I am doing great. Thank you for asking. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Mark. How you feeling? Are you feeling better, Mr. Mark? Between me and my mentor, you've been listening to the videos. Sacramento. Okay. Hey, Miss Martha. Are you doing better, Mr. Mark? Are you guys doing better? Are you doing better, sir? Thank you, guys. I know it's late, but thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you, Miss Lynette. I appreciate it. Chicago. Uh-oh, Chicago in the house. Moonstruck, I've been to Chicago twice, and I went when I was doing my dissertation. We had to do 2 residency, and the second time that I went, I actually was there when they were filming the Transformers. I can't recall which one they were filming, but whatever one had the Chicago scenes in it. It just so happened I went for a walk and I walked right up on the set when they were doing Transformers. So I took my camera and I stood back there for the longest watching. They were doing a scene from a distance over the bridge where the water was at. And so, but I got a chance to walk over to Los Angeles. Okay. I had an opportunity to see the Transformers part of the taping that were part of the filming that they were doing in Chicago. So you guys remember the Transformers in Chicago? I actually was there. I was not all of it, but I saw it. I know, right? I was so excited. I didn't know what to do with myself. Wouldn't nobody believe me? I was trying to find a star and take a picture with him. I'm en route to Florida as we speak. Okay, fleeing from our narcissist who goes, okay. And we are praying for you, Miss Mia. So before we get started with the question and answers, just let me give you guys, as we're waiting for some people to come on, let me just say this. First of all, hopefully you guys have had a awesome evening for good. Good, Mia. That's right. Run, Mia. And we're here to support you, okay? And make sure you look for like some type of YWCA or domestic violence. Call the domestic violence hotline. Let them know you are fleeing so that you can get some help. Hey, Miss Ernestine, so you can get some help in relocating and setting yourself back up, to start over. Some of you guys have started over. Some of you guys have. And we've been talking about that, starting over. And, there's something that my mentor said today that made perfectly good sense. A lot of you guys are empaths. A lot of us are empaths. Some are more extreme than the others. But did you know, hey, Miss Cassandra, something that she said that really just struck me that I had to come bring, don't flee, fly. There you go. Hey there, RN, how are you? But there's something that she said that just really, I had to come bring it back to you guys, like a baby eaglet, eating food, regurgitating it, bring it back. I wanted to say this, and this is what she said. Did you know that a lot of empaths, like the super empaths, empaths have a very, hey, Luba, empaths have a very high pain tolerance. Did you guys know that? Empaths, rather than, the normal pain threshold for the average person in a relationship with people, empaths have a very high threshold, pain threshold, emotional pain threshold. Jason Nasco. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off. But yes, empaths have a very high emotional pain threshold. That's why a lot of you guys stay with the narcissist, and narcissists don't mind that, because that's why a lot of us stayed in the relationship with narcissists for so long, because number one, you lived off of hope. Your heart was good. You lived off of hope. And on top of that, your hope was that the person would change. So I'm going to stay with them. I'm going to ride it out. But your pain tolerance is high. It's like people having a high pain tolerance, meaning that they have to take more pain medication than the average person, which can cause them, hey, Ms. Jonay, which can cause them to get addicted much faster too. But or people that are actually predisposed to alcoholism because there's family history of alcoholism, they actually have a higher threshold. And I've spoken to I've spoken to alcoholics before, where they said that when they first took a sip of alcohol, the average person would have gotten drunk, but their tolerance to alcohol was already high because they were predisposed to it. And so with empaths, your pain tolerance is much higher than the average person, because a lot of empaths, yes, you are, Mark, you're an empath, but a lot of empaths have already been predisposed to family history of pain and suffering and abuse and neglect, and so you don't want to see other people suffer. You don't want to see other people suffer. And so you empathize with people because you feel their pain. And some of you way, way beyond their pain. You feel everything, and I was like that growing up. I used to feel everybody's pain, and I used to, why would you do that? Why are you thinking like that? Didn't think about myself. I was thinking about them. And so a lot of empaths, you have a very high threshold for emotional pain. That's why now that some of you have coming out of that relationship with a narcissist, the aftermath or the effects of that type of pain, that's why you're taking it so hard. the average relationship that you break up with, break up with an individual, you break up with a person, it takes a little while, you get over them, then you move on. But for a person that's been in a relationship with a narcissist is not the same. It's not the same. That's why narcissist abuse is a part of domestic violence. It is domestic violence. However, it's more insidious than the average domestic violence that you hear about. That's why when you hear people say, you got to learn to get over, you got to learn to forgive, you got to move on. It's not that easy because how they did what they did. They start off with that psychological trauma. They take, that psychological manipulation, that psychological damage that they do. And, it's, you get your mind into it, you could turn your whole body. Your mind gets into it, your heart gets into it. Hey, Miss Denise. Hey, Miss Tayana. How are you doing? A lot of you, hey, Miss Denise, how are you? But a lot of you are coming out of these narcissistic relationships, and you're psychologically, which is the emotions, your thought process, totally damaged, totally hurt. Gaslighting. The trauma bonding. Which includes the gaslighting. So a lot of you guys are really hurt. You guys remember that, you have to learn how to think and feel normal again. That's right. And a lot of you guys, I hear this all the time, even in my office. It's like, I don't understand what would make them do that. I don't understand. Why would they say that? I don't understand. See, most of you guys are thinking from the point of an empath or empathic person or empathetic person. You don't even have to be a super empath, but you can be an empathetic person. And what ends up happening is that you're thinking the way you think. You're not thinking the way a narcissist thinks. A narcissist doesn't think that way. And I posted something, those of you guys that are on my Facebook page, I posted something, I reposted something. And what I reposted was where it says, you spending a lot of time, a narcissist cannot feel the pain that you're suffering. They cannot feel or understand the pain that you're suffering. So why do you keep or stop explaining yourself? Stop explaining how they've hurt you because they don't feel it. Hey, Red, but they can't feel the pain that you're suffering. So, but a lot of you tend to keep trying to explain to them how this has hurt you, what you have done, how you have done this. Don't you understand? Do you want someone to do this to your family? Do you want somebody to do? So you guys are explaining to an individual that does not have the capacity to feel compassion or empathy for anybody, but you're thinking on a normal mindset. You're not thinking from the mindset of a narcissist. A narcissist, and that's what bothers most people. Tayana said, yeah, no, they don't get it. They don't understand. Absolutely not. They don't. Amy said, my husband is trying to win me back as we draw closer to finalizing our divorce. Big time pity parties, gaslighting, and discard of my boundaries. How do I stand on my boundaries without him making me feel guilty? See, that's another problem that empaths have. Empaths, and most of you guys are empathetic people. You got to understand that you have to have boundaries. The hardest thing, I was just listening. You guys listen. Hey, Miss Donna, before I continue, I want you guys to go and subscribe to my mentor's YouTube channel. It is under Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. She talks about it on the spiritual aspect. She's a pastor. She's an apostle. She's the presiding prelate over Into His Chambers Global International Ministries. I know many of you guys, all of us do not have the same belief system, and I get it. If you go on there and listen to it, take the principle of what she's saying. Last night, she did a video on empaths, which I think would be awesome for you guys to listen to. Go subscribe to her channel. It's Helen Sadler, and it's Destiny Helper. Miss Shirley said, I listen to her and she's great. Yes, I love the spiritual. She talks about the spiritual aspect. I talk about the clinical side of the house. Being a clinician myself, I do consider the whole person concept. I do believe in the soul, which is your mind, your thoughts, your will, your emotions. I do think about the mind. That's the part that we deal with, the psychological part. I think about the body, being healthy, eating right, sleeping right. Yes, she is awesome, Miss Lynette. I see you on there sometimes. I come afterward after you guys. I come the next day because usually that's early in the morning. So I see some of you guys on there. And the whole body, the whole person concept, the body, taking care of the body, learning how to detox and de-stress. Thank you so much, Jerica. Thank you. Thank you. But and also the spiritual aspect. Whatever, as Denise said, you already subscribed. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure you share her videos too. But also the spiritual aspect. And each one of you have your own belief system. And so she gives you principles to work with, and the spiritual aspect of it, you just have to apply whatever your belief system is. I myself, I am a Christian. I'm a believer. And so that is my pastor. That is my mentor. And for some of you guys, you have your own belief system. You have your own beliefs. Take the principles of what she's saying and then apply whatever your belief system is. But yes, sorry, you got my nose itching. Hold on. Oh, my nose itching. Sorry, you guys. But take the principles. And so what I wanted to say, and I'm going back to address this particular person, Miss Amy. That's one of the, Miss Felicia. Oh, can I spell her name? Is Helen, Helen Sadler, Saddler. Is that her channel? Is that the channel, Luba? But it's Destiny Helper. So it's Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. And if you guys want to follow her on Facebook, you also will tune into church services if that's something that you guys. Oh, thank you so much, Luba. Thank you. She put her link over here on Facebook. And for those of you that are in the church, are believers, then you can also go on the church Facebook, which is Into His Chambers Ministries, Into His Chamber Global Ministries. And you can follow her under, you love her, Miss Shirley. She's a lovable individual, powerful lady. But you can also go on the Facebook and you can follow her for those of you that also would like to follow the ministry. And she's on ministry as well. And then she's a coach on the YouTube channel. And so, you don't have to worry. She's not super spooky. So for those of you guys that are not believers, that's okay. Take the principles of what she's saying and apply it to your life, okay? Whatever your belief system is. And so an empath, you have to be careful because an empath has a problem with saying no. And she just did a video last night about it as well. Empaths have a real problem with saying no. It actually hurts you more to say no than it does the other person. But see, when you're dealing with a narcissist, they know you have a problem with saying no. And so they will use guilt to make you not say no. Think about it. When you put your boundaries up, a narcissist will gaslight and make you feel guilty about putting boundaries up because you hurt their feelings because they can't do or say or conduct themselves whatever they want the way that you hurt. It's not the fact you hurt their feelings. You hurt me because you won't allow me to keep abusing you. And so that is one of the biggest things, Amy, is that a narcissist will use guilt to guilt trip you. You need to get out of the relationship. You're going to finalize the divorce. He's hoovering you. So don't let him hoover you, okay? Don't let him hoover you in order to change your mind either. Don't let him hoover you to change your mind. You stick to your standards. You stick to your guns. You stick to what it is that you're doing. And if you, I don't know if you have children, but you stay in no contact. I'm sorry, you guys, I want the cameras to fall over. There we go. Okay. So, okay, let me scroll up. So Luba said, and they get so mad when you say no. Absolutely. I listened to her this morning while getting ready for church. It was good. Okay, are you on her Facebook, on the church Facebook as well? Or just on the YouTube? So, all right, you guys. Well, let's open it up for some questions. Let's, guys ask me some questions. And like I said earlier, you guys know I always say the same thing over and over again. I always say what? I'm not going to stay here on, I'm not going to stay on long. But y'all, I love you guys. And so I end up, Miss Shirley, if you look under Into His Chambers Global Ministries, or if you also look under Apostle Helen, they should show up. It's two of them. So you can look under Into His Chambers Global Ministries. I think that's one. And the other one is Apostle Helen. So if you guys are interested in the church side of the house, you're also welcome to go over there, or the coaching side of the house, the spiritual coaching. Can you do a video on reactive abuse? Let me write it down. Okay. What was that? That was Reactive abuse. Okay, let me write that down. Okay. I'll make sure I put that in my phone, okay? Okay. So let's see. All righty. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. So you guys, I'm not going to stay on long. I promise I'm not going to stay on long. Hold on, let me put my phones down some, okay? You guys, give me just a second. Let me fix this. I think my phones are sitting up too high and they feel like they're about to fall over. Give me a second. Okay. Is this okay? All right, so I got to look down at the telephone, but that's okay. I broke my stand. You know, my stand set up a little high. I broke my stand. Sorry, you guys. Okay, let's look at here. Over on Facebook, Luba also posted her Facebook page. So it's Apostle Helen. All right, let's see. Amy said, yes, we have children. He uses them to get to me. It's like I can't get away from him. Establishing boundaries while co-parenting help. Go back to my video that's co-parenting versus counter-parenting. And make sure that if you do a parenting plan, you may want to talk to a domestic violence advocate and let them know. You know, let them know because that's a hard one because you got to stay no contact and just strictly about the kids, strictly business. Look at it as strictly business, okay? Let's see. Ms. Ruby said, going to check out Miss Helen because I look at narcissism from a spiritual point of view. Oh, you'll like what she's saying then. Go to her YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. You'll really like what she has to say. It gives you a totally different perspective from the clinical point over to the spiritual side. It gives you a totally different perspective. And a lot of things, you know, true enough, we all have different belief systems, but a lot of you guys agree to what she was saying. So take the principles of what she's saying, okay? Sherry said, I'm from a family where it's 2 families put together. Our stepmother has 4 children, and she's a narcissist as well as 2 of her children. I'm an empath at 50 years old. I feel guilt. That is the feeling, wanting to cut them out of my life. How do I cut them off? You cut them off. You know, that's one of the biggest things, and I said that before, you know, when you're dealing with toxic family members or when you're dealing with family that was narcissistic, you got narcissistic brothers and sisters, whatever, you know, I said this in another video, and what I said, I'm sorry, I'm itching, y'all, but I said this in another video too. You know, if you're on an airplane, the stewardess always tells you guys to put on the mask on yourself first before you try to help someone else. Because while you're trying to help someone else, you're going to die of no oxygen. So you have to put the oxygen on your face first. You know, it doesn't make any sense. You have the right to protect yourself. You have the right to live toxic free. That includes our own families. And if your family is narcissistic or toxic, you have to put boundaries up to not allow them to cross those boundaries. And yes, because they're family, they're going to guilt trip you. Yes, they're going to make you feel bad about doing it. You know, your family, I can't believe you're acting that way. It's because they're guilt tripping you. That's because they're gaslighting you, you know, and so, but you have the right to put up protective measures in order to protect yourself. And so that means even with your family, if you got to keep them at a distance, you be kind, hello, from a distance, or you may have to go no contact. You know, you may have to go no contact. Gina says sometimes no contact only goes so far. There are still ways for the narc and his monkeys. Not his flying monkeys, his monkeys, huh? You just went straight to baboons. His baboons can find a way to make some contact. That's a good one, Gina. You didn't even say flying monkey. You said forget a flying monkey. You said them baboons or monkeys, huh? Oh, yeah. Remember, they hoover anyway. When they can't hoover you directly, they'll hoover you through your kids. They'll hoover you through flying monkeys. You know, they'll hoover you through the baboons like, well, I'm just adding words to it, but the monkeys, you know, but yeah, of course. And that's why, but the no contact gives you space, gives you an opportunity, like putting a mask back on you, you get some air in order for you to learn how to recover, how to get your strength to fight, you know, and when I say fight, meaning no contact. And so that means if you guys have mutual friends, but you know they got loyalties to the narcissist, cut them off, no contact them. Yeah, and eventually as you begin to heal, it won't bother you anymore. I'm telling you, as you begin to heal, as you guys begin to build strength and momentum, you know, as you guys, sorry, you guys, slipping again, but as you guys build momentum, as you guys begin to build strength, you know, it won't bother you. It won't matter what flying monkey is looking and reporting back. It won't even bother you anymore. Hey, Glow B, it won't even bother you. Leaving notes on your card, don't read the notes. Throw them away. Some of y'all just know. Stop being so nosy. Throw the notes away. You know, when you open up, you see their name, throw the notes away. It's not that important. They don't have anything to say. Throw it away. Non-curiosity kills the narcissist. Go ahead, Moonstruck. That's what I'm talking about right there. You said it. Luba Williams said, how do narcissists react when they are given the diagnosis by a professional? Very badly. They react very badly. What I do is unless I'm doing a psych evaluation, what I have run into, first of all, sometimes when I do have narcissists, that a lot of times, don't think that all professionals pick up on it. I don't pick up on it right away. Some of the low-grade narcissists, Miss Luba, some of the low-grade, I can pick up on them as soon as they come in. The whole conversation during the session is about themselves or about how wrong people have done them. So sometimes I can pick up on them. Sometimes it takes me a minute. I can kind of like, something's not right, because sometimes it may present itself as borderline traits, borderline personality traits. It may present itself as other traits. And so I have to monitor that. But a lot of times when I do a diagnosis, usually by the time I've picked up or figured out that we're dealing with a narcissist, the narcissist knows that I've picked up on them, and usually they'll leave counseling. No narcissists have ever stayed on my caseload. Never. And I don't deal with personality disorder. Most mental health professionals have to pick and choose what they're going to. What I do is I will refer them out. And it's not always good to just give people the diagnosis, because a lot of times people play on the diagnosis. If you tell someone that you have depressive disorder or whatever, sometimes they play up to the, you got to split in. Oh my gosh, my head is hurting, And so I try to be careful at what I present to them. Once I pick it up, though, sometimes I may not even be doing a complete assessment. I might be doing counseling. Once I pick up on it, by that time, they've already discarded me. So the narcissist, in an office setting has discarded me. Or if I pick up on it, and I'm doing an assessment, 9 times out of 10, the narcissist will leave counseling because they cannot control, and I'm not speaking of all therapists, and some therapists don't pick them up. But a narcissist with me usually has a very hard time because they cannot control me. They want to control me and they cannot control me. And so when a narcissist cannot control another person, they usually, hey, Miss Clara, they get angry, so they become very, very angry. I usually know because they want control. They want control in counseling sessions. They want control in people's lives. They want control, and they will dominate sessions. They dominate the sessions. So it's almost like you'll never get a word in because they will dominate the session. It's all about them and me and me and me. And so sometimes you can't even finish the assessment, and sometimes they'll leave before I finish the assessment. So, and usually I've picked up on it by then. Usually a narcissist knows when you've picked up on them. A narcissist knows when you have picked up on them, and they discard. That's how they do. So I'm not a primary source when it comes to being a therapist. I will be considered a second or third source. Once they realize you picked up, you become a no source. You become discarded, which is not a problem because there's no emotional investment. Glow B said, Dr. Bryant, this is another great live. Glad that I woke up suddenly here in Connecticut. Well, thank you so much, Glow B. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see. Antonia. Hi, Miss Antonia. How are you doing? I am having trouble breaking the trauma bonding cycle. I can catch myself doing it, but it's like I do it before I'm able to re-register it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to... Hold on. Let me go get my glasses, y'all. Give me a second. Let me grab my glasses, okay? All right. Let me put on my professor glasses, y'all. Give me a second. Okay. Let's see. It says, I'm having trouble breaking the trauma bonding cycle. I can catch myself doing it, but it's like I do it before I'm able to re-register. Register it. We have only been split up for 3 weeks. I just called 911 and he was committed because he told me he tried to kill himself. Come to find out, he didn't do anything. So I have some time to heal without his constant manipulation. Do you have any advice that I can use during or after to help me control myself and break the trauma bonding? Miss Antonio, is this your husband or is this a former boyfriend that you have discarded or has discarded you? By giving me a little more information, I'll be able to answer that question, okay? So is that a ex-boyfriend or is that a husband? And see, remember I told you guys that that empaths have a problem with setting up boundaries, have problem with saying no, have a problem with you know, because you feel guilty all the time, and that's what the narcissists use as a weapon against you. Every time that Mr. Mark said, every time that me and my wife ever went to counseling, once she was told that she was wrong about anything, she would never go back, or she would go silent in counseling. Because remember, they're still the same game they play with you is the same game they play with the counselors. They want control, so they even want control of the counselor. Miss Antonia said husband, and we have one kid together. Two, not one. Okay, two kids together. Well, Miss Antonia, first of all, are you guys divorced yet? Or are you guys divorced yet? That's the first question. And second question is you put him out of the house? You've discarded him? Is he put out the house? Are you guys going through a divorce? Is there a parenting plan in place? Anything like that? XX said, oh, they can't, they change the mask and get pissed off and get brand new. Just listen and learn from them. They have patterns. Exactly. Nat Kelly said, I blocked my ex and her narc husband from any